Hello and welcome to the Wiise Why. This morning I've invited Mark back and we're having a bit of a laugh because the last time Mark came on, he was streaming from a hotel room and we couldn't really see him. Now we do have a slightly better picture today, but we have no idea why. Again, we're having a bit of a few technical issues, and this is the joy of going live. Things will go wrong. But as usual, the Wiise Why is really not about me. It is about my guest. And Mark has been on an incredible journey since episode 5. So Mark, over to you. The floor is yours.
Good morning. I don't know what it is, but obviously, there must be magic in the air when we're. It's either your hair or something to do with technology.
So, yes, it is rather big this morning.
Yeah. Thanks for having us on again. And hopefully it's not too blurry that you can't see my glamorous looks. But
No, and we did have to remove your signature. I mean, this is the thing that people don't realize when you go on camera, that you have to make some adjustments. I love your signature, which is your big bright floral shirts, but actually the camera really didn't like it, and it was like fighting with everything around you. But I'm wondering if we could explore why you wear the flowery shirts.
Do you know what? I actually don't know. I think I was blind one morning and bought one, and everybody picked up on it. Or it was just I had one. Few people commented on it, so I bought another one, as we do, and then it's just snowballed really from there. I think now I have a separate wardrobe just for my shirts, But yeah, there's no real reason other than the fact, I suppose, it's called sales, it's called marketing. We need to stand out from the the norm. But that's the only reasons. And obviously, it shows off my glamorous profile as well. So, but that's it.
So years ago, there was a terrible book, and I'm going to say it's a terrible book. It was written about 2002, 2003, and it was aimed at how men could get women. And there was this phrase called peacocking. And I went at that point, I'd gone through the divorce. And so I went off and read about this book. And what you do is actually peacocking. You're absolutely right. It is a brilliant way to stand out and make sure people know who you are. And wherever we are at an event, we know where Mark is. So I applaud you for doing that because it is your signature.
I mean, we went to the security industry, international security on Tuesday, and I was catching up with Lydia, and she said, "Where are you? Where are you?" Yeah, I said, "I'm in aisle 3." And then she looked down the aisle. She said, "Yep, I can see you. I can see this flowery shirt coming down the aisle." And I just thought, well, perfect. I wasn't just I'm going to say a dumb terminal, but yes, it's. Thank you. I don't like being referred to as a peacock, but we do have to stand out and make ourselves different, don't we?
Yeah, and I agree with you. The term isn't great, but it does sum it up. But obviously, since we last spoke, you've launched Wall to Wall Group, and I wondered if you could explain that kind of journey, because it's quite a big decision to leave solid, regular employment and then go and launch business, and you've done it successfully and quickly. This is what I love about your journey, is the passion that you come with, but also how you quickly make decisions and you action them and you deliver it. So I wondered if you could talk about that journey.
I mean, I'm laughing, but it's probably not laughable. But I did get myself into a bit of a state. My head went, sort of pop, I'm going to say, and I will say it was probably down to the fact of sitting in my study for sort of 9 or 10 months, working, for another company. That was the role. That was what I'd taken on. But I'd gone from being outside in an office, with the team and everything else, to all of a sudden on the end of a phone. Long story short, it wasn't for me, and I needed to get out there and do. I really didn't know what I wanted to do, but what I did want to do was get back into distribution. I wanted to get back to the stuff I like, is talking to people, trying to promote promote a product that you believe in and want to, know that your industry is going to like it. So it was just sort of, well, how do I go? I didn't really want to go and shift boxes, and I say that in the nicest term. I didn't want to be working for another camera manufacturer, and I'll probably change tact on that with the way that the business goes from a day-to-day basis. But at that time, I wanted something different. I knew there was plenty of products out there that, and one of the first people to pick up on and a good friend is Dan at Loxall Security. I sort of went with the idea to him, spoke to him and just said, look, this is what I'm thinking about doing. Would you use me and my network or my, connections to go out and promote your business? And then it sort of snowballed. All I wanted was 2 customers. And I say this to everybody, I just wanted 2 customers, pay my bills, and then I can see where it goes. It went to 2 customers, 3 customers, 4, 10, and it really, yes, it has snowballed. It has exploded in the last 12 months. But that was the real journey from I was going to swear then, but head messed up, to sort of, let me just sort my life out and get to, see what's going on in here and get back to being me again. So yes, it's been a quick journey, 12 months, 8, however many months now, but it has been really quick. But I'm glad I did it. I really am.
And it's incredible. Honestly, it's incredible to watch. Really, really powerful, because, I've been up to your office, and as we were standing in your office and we were going through some tech and other bits, you were then talking about a second unit, and that doesn't happen very often. People really, really struggle, and I love the fact that you referenced back to what it was like being at home in an office and how lonely that can get, because as a small business owner, it can be. But you've got a team around you, haven't you?
Yeah. I'm looking around now because this is the new office, and do you know what? I'm proud as punch, bleep, because it's 12 months ago I was just working out the study. Then I converted the garage, so we moved into the garage. Sammy joined us, and it was sort of, the role was going to be for Sammy was going to be remote, but then it was sort of back and forth to the house. So we were working out the garage, and I just thought, well, this isn't very nice for somebody that has come on board to be working in our house. So this unit came up, and it was 1, cheap, and 2, just gave us the good start to get into something where we could bring customers in, to do demonstrations, to talk to people. But now. That was sort of the start, but this unit now has given us the practicality now to, one, people can park outside, which was a big bugbear for me, but also the fact that we can do live demonstrations. We can, we've got all the kit laid out now. We can properly go through all of our bits and pieces that we either sell or promote. And it's incredible, and I pinch myself every time I come through that door, but it's great. It's good.
And I love that you're talking about having live demonstrations, but you've also embraced video, so you could do video demonstrations as well.
Listen, we've gone from, we're sitting in a hotel room doing a podcast or what a live stream, whatever, 12 months ago or however long it was, to now, and obviously, but global pandemic and everything else, so we've all engaged with video, and we've adjusted now. I've gone from that to sort of Lydia's come on board. We're now doing PR bit. We were up at Pyronics on when was it? Tuesday, just to start video content and proper in-depth video content, but making it real, making it so that the customer can not only see me promoting the product, but also promoting it in a way that people understand and, I hope, go, actually, I could use that, or that would help with this. And and there's no other way to do that other than, one, you go door knocking and see people and you arrange meetings or get people in here and say, this is what we think is good. And, here's the way to view it. So whether it's through socials, mainly most people know TikTok no, but LinkedIn has been my go-to. We're doing TikTok. Still don't get it. Still, play at it and everything. But through LinkedIn, it really works for us. And quick 2-minute video. And I advise everybody just pick up the camera, just talking to it, and it may be good, it may be bad, but somebody hopefully will take something from it. And that's why we've done it.
Talking about that and just talking about video as a platform, because this is what I obviously look at and specialize. TikTok is, so I've had a client that monetized their TikTok channel in, if I could say it properly, TikTok channel super quickly. And what they were doing was unboxing how-to videos, but it was a niche. It was very, very much a collectible item. It was very much what would appeal to quite a broad audience. And sometimes people launch on TikTok or onto YouTube and they think that they're going to be an overnight success. And it takes time. Video takes a long, long time. Now, there are lots of people who come to you and say, I'll monetize your channel if you pay me XXX. And, I get these people and I always say to them, look, good luck. And if that's the route you want to go, absolutely. But your videos should be about what you do. And that's what I love about your videos, because you absolutely focus on what you were just saying, on the benefit. You're not focusing on the features, because features are, as I think Roy Cooper said, the handle on a cup is a feature, but it's not a benefit, because if you tip it and it's got hot water in it, it's going to burn you. So I love that you're doing that, and I can't wait to see this video that comes out I can't even speak this morning. Ironics.
Yeah, no, I'd agree, and I'm going to say sorry, because you when you came up to the office, however long ago it was, and we were going through some of that about video content, and you said at the time, you should be doing unboxing videos, you should be what's the name, and I tried it, and do you know what, we did a silly video, which I thought this is going to take us to the next level. We did a silly video with Dan at Loxall doing his keypad and showing the benefits of that, and it was just off the phone, off the cuff. We just did it, and it was probably our third or fourth video, 70,000 views.
Yeah,
ping, all everybody like getting engaging in it. Some silly comments, some not so silly, but it was just like, wow, this is amazing. But then the algorithm goes, actually, no, because you haven't posted for a while. That was your quick hit. And then you have to sort of start again. But, you've got people like Jake at DVS. I mean, he's just immense. I mean, the video content he does for TikTok, he just speaks that everybody wants to watch him because he's got that thing about it. But you've got to find your niche with any social media, and that's as simple as it is. And I think, or I hope, our niche is the ability to sort of say, right, okay, I'm going to do a Roy. That's a good pen, don't why do I need it, and how will it benefit your company? And that's exactly what I always try to do with our videos, whatever it is.
And that is the key, because this is also what people think. They're looking and chasing that overnight success. They think that the more likes they get, the more comments they get, that actually the more successful they'll be. But that actually isn't true. What happens is it's the people who are watching, the people who are observing, who see the video and go, I need that. They're the one who will pick up the phone. They're the people who will then talk to you. And you don't even know they're watching, because they've never liked, they've never commented. They're just part of that impression, sort of analytic that you don't know who they are. And that is the power. And it's really interesting, because I've been tracking video now for 3 years, and I've really got to understand where the power is. So it is about repetition, it is about keeping repeating, but it is about adding value, and it's not about showing off.
No, and I say this 100% agree that when somebody's if somebody doesn't like your video or comment on your video, but if you look at your impressions and see, oh, okay, I've had 3 million views on that post, and I've had 2 likes. We're getting now. Natalie, has joined us in the last, seems like an eternity because she's made such a great impression. But she's joined us and sort of started to get involved with LinkedIn. She now goes out, she comments, she likes, and gets involved with an industry that she probably wasn't involved with before. But she understands that the more I comment, they see my content. The more I like, they see my content. And now she's, she'll drop me a message over the weekend and just say, wow, do you know that video I did, or that image I did 2 weeks ago? I've just had somebody send me a message. It's a Saturday. What do I do with it? Just respond. Just get involved with that person, or do a like, do a share, or whatever it might be. But you never know, and that one view of that video will be the one view that you've added value to that one person, and they'll come back and share.
Can I get you to just promote mine, because that was just perfect?
Yeah.
So one of the things I really want to ask, because I'm intrigued by what's been the biggest learning that you have taken, because it's been such a short turnaround, and seeing you fly is just amazing. But what's been the biggest learning?
Do you know what? In simple terms, I can't do it all, and as I say, Dan, we had a couple of others, multi-sell. They all joined, and I was thinking, great, that's it, I've sorted. I've got a couple of customers, and then I realised actually, I'm all right. I've gone out and met these people. I've got these people that want to get on board with it, but I can't actually go out and then do the job that we want to do for people. So we took Sammy on, we've took a marketing team on, we've took a PR team, just so that it takes the focus from me. That unfortunately I have to do the accounts. Unfortunately, I have to do the organize the marketing, organize the and I've had to do that from the very start. The socials, you get confidence enough with that, and that runs. But I've learned so much about business. I have so much respect about people that run businesses, whether it's a person on their own or a multi-million-pound company. I'm sure, like I do, the MD is still awake at 2 o'clock in the morning, thinking to himself, did I do that? Did I feed the dog? Did I whatever? But I've fed the animal that makes it work the way that the business should be working. And then I wake up in the morning, right, can we go again? So that for me has really been a steep learning curve. And like I say, my hat goes off to anybody that's starting the journey. Matt Moran, he's just gone on his own now. It's amazing to watch him, and he's only a few months in, but he gets it. He gets I'll use his thing. His work ethics is Monday to Thursday. Friday he has it off as a daddy and his Sunday, and that's admirable. But you can't switch off. Unfortunately, you've got to be on it. And another learning is that your family will suffer just because you're giving it 103 million%. But that's what I'd take from it in a long way.
Really, really good advice, because I had to really think about it, because when I first launched the first year, I kind of started, and then as I found my feet, I started to grow my confidence, and I started to understand, and then the clients started coming, because I launched in the pandemic. So it was a kind of bit of a backwards. And also, I wasn't going into a sector that people knew me for. Here I was suddenly coming out of the security market, where I'd been running channels, to suddenly going, I'm going to talk about sales and marketing, and I'm going to talk about video content, and I'm going to talk about confidence on camera and public speaking. And everyone went, why would you do that? Because it wasn't like I went around the security market telling everybody that I used to be an actor. It was kind of like, if they asked, I told them. I didn't really go on and talk about the TV or the theatre that I'd done and the training. So when I came out, it was quite a big steep, and I spent a long time getting the message out there. I niched too much. That was the one thing I definitely did, was I niched too much, and then I had to open it up. But you are right, you can't do it all. And So I outsource things. I've got freelancers that now do some of the work for me. And, I share them with my clients, and I keep their head of strategy. That's my job. But I make sure that everybody is working the KVDB way. I do like doing that because that just makes me giggle because of Billy Connolly, because he hates that. So don't know why I had to do that. So have there been moments, and I know because you've been very open about it, where you struggled with your mental health at times. Have there been points where the black dog has come back in?
Of course, it's there. It's it's on that shoulder all of the time, and not only am I running the business, but what's the name? But I'm also trying to push that thing away from the head or whatever it is. Tablets have been a godsend, and I've sort of learned to sort of quite a few times, and I was with we did a day with Pinnacle yesterday, and one of the guys I was with then I sort of said it, it gets to that sort of stage of I don't know where I'm going with this now, but it is one of those where you have to analyze what you're eating, what who you surround yourself with. That if there's somebody that isn't giving you the value that you want within the business, within your social life, then there's no point having them as part of your network, and I'll be perfectly honest with you, socials, if somebody doesn't appeal to me on socials, it's blocked, because I don't need that negativity, because I'm fighting this battle. And God, that's quite deep, wasn't it? But
I didn't want to quite throw that at you, but it is really what I was getting to is it's really important, because social media can have a really bad negative effect, and there are some people that I used to hang out with that before I launched the business, I thought they were really, really good friends, and I absolutely adored them, I really did. But then they started getting negative or nipping away, and it's been a real learning curve, just surrounding myself with positive, they're not always positive, but people who understand where I'm coming from. So my network is, and I wrote about this in a blog recently about how my network has changed. So I've got the school mums, I've got the school school dads, and then I've got a new network of business owners who get me. And some of the social things that I used to do prior to launching the business, I don't have the time to do that now, so I don't do it. And that's not a reflection on anyone else. It's just the reflection of I'm running a business, I've got a young child, and I'm trying to fit everything in amongst the school run or whatever I'm trying to do. And I just didn't have time. It's difficult.
It is. And your real friends will be there for you, and your real friends will know when that thing is on your shoulder and you're not yourself. Other people will just be pointing the finger, why are you so angry? Why are you not, why are you being like that? Why did you say that? Some people, sometimes you just don't know that you're saying those sort of things, but some people are fighting a battle that other people, and it's all about caring for people. It really is, and I'm a big believer that you have to talk, you have to be open and honest with people so that they know. And I've done a few posts recently about these are the tablets that keep me going. This is do you know what? Because some of the messages that I get, God, I feel like I'm getting it up. It's unreal. It's so dark and a horrible place. And apologies to anybody watching, but I would say, please understand what people are going through in their lives. That you may think they've just been a not very nice person, but actually they're fighting a battle. And perhaps just that one comment of how you doing? Do you fancy a beer, a coffee, or let's go for a walk, will make all the difference. And that's
Caroline O'Connor talked about that, actually. She's a widow. She was on the Wiise Why, and she discussed, and I've been this woman. I'm never ever going to hide away from it. Leaving my first marriage wasn't easy, and I was that woman in Tesco's where you're trying to pack the bag and suddenly everything is too much and you're standing there and you're screaming for absolutely no reason, and you can feel that person inside yourself. You're looking at yourself going, why am I doing this? But you can't stop yourself because the emotion has come to the top and actually you just can't cope anymore. And when I
Yeah.
see that person now, I go up to them and I gently say, can I help? Yeah, and it sounds really silly, but can I help could make all the difference, because if you've been there, and I've certainly been there, if you've been there, it's it's not easy. I remember walking to the doctor when I was trying to get out of the marriage, and the doctor saying, you need antidepressants, and I went, I don't need antidepressants. I'm not depressed. And he went, you are clinically depressed. Now, I was very lucky because the person I am, I walked out at that point. I was quite young, and I thought, before I go on tablets, I genuinely want to work out what is wrong with my life. And I worked out what was wrong with my life, and I got out the marriage with some help. And then I started rebuilding my life, and I didn't go on the tablets. But it doesn't mean that I'm okay now, because I take HRT, and I know that the HRT keeps me nice and level, because my hormones, like every other woman going through the menopause, is horrid.
Yeah. I'll just go. No, I won't comment.
Yes, you can. No, but you can. No, it's important to comment.
It is, yeah, and yeah, it is scary that we're all going through this, but we don't know that we're going through this, and we think that we're okay, but we're not okay. But it's a bloody strange world, isn't it? I'm not religious by any means, but if God was sort of, and I don't know how to phrase it. If God was a God that sort of loved everybody and everybody was to get on, then why have we got things like cancer? Why have we got depression? Why have we got this? But the day-to-day life of now, it's the way it goes, isn't it? And it's part of everybody's life these days that somebody's fighting something, or somebody's not having a good day, or something. But it's a difficult world, or different world to when we were a kid, and there wasn't things like vegans or allergic to nuts or anything else. So don't get me started on that side. But it's just when you're young, there's no problems. You just when do you get back for your dinner? Well, when it goes dark or it's 5:30, that's dinner time when you got back. And there wasn't a big scary world out there that would cause any damage to your children or anything else. And it's a
We won't go to that one, because I do think it's reported now very differently to what it was in our childhood, because we're a similar age. And, the use of mobile phones, the immediate data, the immediate information, I think that has an impact. And I think it also has an impact on our mental health, because you turn to the news and it can be, look at the news yesterday. It wasn't great. And you're just sitting there going, you're getting that fed to you all the time. And it's constant, and there's no. Whereas in my childhood, you watched Newsround, and then you got the 7 o'clock news, and you went to bed.
Yeah, I have completely stopped that. This sounds really, really stupid, and it does sound stupid, but I don't actually care. Do you know what? I don't watch the news anymore. Even if it comes on the radio, I'll turn it off, because I just can't be bothered with what's going on. I can't be bothered with all that stress of what's happening in the world and the way that the media is going these days. It sounds stupid. If I want to find anything out, I'll just go on TikTok, because somebody will be talking about it on there. Somebody will be going through something, and you just think to yourself, wow, that's what's going on? I'm glad I don't watch the news. So leave it at that.
So I just want to finish off with one, you get to throw a question at me, which I always worry about. But secondly, I'd like to just talk about your daughter, because she is amazing.
I hope she's not listening, because it's she is. And it is. God, you did it.
Sorry.
Honestly, we've just done this 500-mile challenge for Crisis. It was the same with the running during lockdown. I said to her, "Oh, Maddie, please not again." and to what are we going to get out of this? who's it for? Right, it's for crisis. She always does things for the homeless. And then it was like 500 miles. And I'm like, well, okay, well, I'm a cyclist. She does a bit of cycling, albeit slowly. I said, Maddie, it's going to take you about 2 to 3 weeks, because it was during school term or just finishing school. I'm trying to do the business. So, of course, then it's 10 miles she's done today, 20 miles she did yesterday, and it mounted and mounted. But do you know what? There wasn't a minute of the day that she wasn't talking about it. I wasn't trying to promote it or whatever. But going back to it, yeah, she is. I don't know where or how she's come from these, but she's. I'm surprised that she's actually mine, but she's something else, and she makes me proud every single day. So as you probably know, because I talk about her all the time. But yeah,
I do.
Anyway, I hope she's not watching. So
she will be. So Hayden's just said yes to the question about Maddie. She is a star. There you go. And we all, and that's one thing I don't think you realise, we all love Maddie. We love her enthusiasm. We love the fact that she's always finding a new cause and doing something good, and for such a young person. So from my side, I'm going to go, well done, Maddie. Well done, Mark, for being her dad.
Thank you. Yeah.
So now you get to turn the tables and ask me a question.
Yeah. I mean, I wrote one down, but we've not really talked about the industry or anything else, and that was the thing for me, was just like, what do we talk about? But it was, as people will know, you go through these things and you put some questions down and everything else. My question was, how do you think the industry has changed since you left and started sort of doing what you're doing now? Because now you're an outsider, as it were, so that would be my question to you, based on the fact of,
No, I think that's actually a really good question, because I do stand on the sidelines, although I do help people within the security market. And I think what I'm starting to see, and it's understanding that we're breaking down some of the barriers, and people now are understanding, partly why I invite people on from the security market onto the podcast, because people don't necessarily understand the word security industry. They see it as security, and that means lock, stock, and closed. But there's so many aspects to the security market. And so I think it's about getting out of in-industry jargon and talk, and getting out to the wider masses. But I mean, that's how business works today anyway. So what I'm seeing is an embracing, I think, particularly by some vendors, to make their products more accessible, to communicate more about the benefits and what it does, and how it can protect or keep you safe, or how it can be used in a way to monitor. And so I think it's about evolving. Whereas before it was quite, this is what we do and we're very much standalone. I'm seeing that breaking down the barriers. What I love very much is the security market is usually at the forefront of things. And so when things are happening at Congress or happening at government level, the security market are responding and dealing with it probably before any other sector. And now they're starting to talk about it and share it. So, seeing those more human interest stories coming through, seeing people more aware of what it can those breaking down of barriers, I think is what I'm really enjoying, rather than seeing a list of specs. When you go to market, there's a list of specs, which means absolutely nothing to the decision maker. So I think that breaking down of barriers, the talking about the benefits, and actually what a product does and can do, and how it will really change things, is what I'm starting to see coming through. And I, for one, am loving it. So people knowing what the security market does, rather than just there's a door person over there, as we had Ali on last week, or that's a camera, don't really know what it does, but that's a camera. Oh, someone's talking through a camera. That's exciting. I know people are turning off body cams now. That was the latest thing in the news. But understanding what the product does, I think, is really lovely to start seeing. Does that make sense?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And the networking thing we were at yesterday with Pinnacle, it's nice to see, and it's like what I hope that we do. We try and bring everybody together. Everybody. If it's a battery seller, if it's a SIM card, but it's the industry working. I think the industry working together to make it better. Pinnacle, I've got this great bit of software that we can link the fire alarm, we can link the CCTV, we can link the the fridges and everything together and provide it in one platform, so the user gets the full benefit of as you say. I can put there's one there. I can put a camera up and look at an event afterwards, but what good is that? I love the way that the industry is going. I love the fact of AI now is the way everything's being pushed, but having it all work together now rather than, as you say, just that's the intruder alarm, that's the CCTV. Yeah, it's a good. Yeah, I'm glad we're in the times we're in.
I'm hoping to see more of this interoperability. Oh, look at me, big word this morning. Interoperability and the usability, and I'm hoping that we're going to see more, because what I'm starting to see in the security industry is it's almost like you're opening up the heart and showing what you really do and the humanity, and that's what I really enjoy about what I'm seeing evolve.
Yeah. Drop the mic. Let's finish there.
Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I love talking to you, that. And let's grab a coffee.
Likewise, and thank you for getting us back.
No problem.